Funeral Services, under the supervision of Mr. Ronald Chimpanga, the Director of Operations, offers the following services: body care, caskets, coffins, tombstones, and long-distance transport. We also provide tents, chairs, and lowering machines. Find us in Lusaka at UTH and Charleston. Contact us on the number 0976 161213. That is 0976 161213. Or contact us via our 24/7 hotline on 0975 442107. We also have branches in Monze, Luansha, Chongwe, and Livingston. Ozeron Funeral Services. Come for affordable and quality services.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've invited first.
It's almost. Your gateway to the north is loading in wanting to explore the region. That's right, Kasama Airport has been upgraded and will soon be opening its doors to travelers. Explore Kasama through your gateway to possibilities. Zambia Airports Corporation Limited.
The happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good afternoon. This is the 5FM main news at 12:45 with Judith Mwape. The headlines. Armed criminals escape with $21,000 after attacking security guard along Mumbwa Road. Independence Day with focus on democracy and transparency. South African minister under investigation after sexual assault claim. And now the news in detail. 6 suspected criminals armed with machetes have broken into a named company along Mumbwa Road after attacking a security guard who they tied and hacked. Public Relations Officer Danny Mwale, who has confirmed the development, says it is alleged that the suspects broke into one of the director's office and blew up the money safe and went away with 21,000 United States dollars, 133,623 kwacha, and scanners were at 37,500 kwacha. Mr. Mwale said police have arrested 2 suspects aged 38 and 39 in connection with the incident while investigations are ongoing.
The incident occurred on October 23, 2023, around 01 hours. Police officers who were alerted and rushed to the scene where the guard, identified as Julius Sinkala, aged 55, was found lying in a pool of blood with multiple cuts on his body. His hands and legs were tied. Machetes are believed to have been used in the act. He was rushed to the hospital where he is admitted. Preliminary investigations further indicate that entry and exit was gained through the bathroom window. Police arrested 2 suspects aged 38 and 39 in connection with the incident. Investigations are going.
In another development, 3 people have been arrested in connection with the riot which occurred in Chibolya compound yesterday and are detained in police custody while investigations have intensified. Mr. Mwale says the suspected criminals in the area ran amok yesterday, claiming that they were revenging the death of their colleague who died on October 19, 2023 in the same compound. He says the suspects are alleged to have gone around armed with machetes, looting some shops within Chibolya, and upon hearing that police officers were alerted, they escaped and vented their anger on persons they suspected to have called the police. He said the suspects hacked 5 people, leaving them with multiple deep cuts on their bodies, and were rushed to the hospital where they are currently admitted.
The suspects are alleged to have damaged a windscreen of one motor vehicle, a Nissan Patrol bearing registration number ABM 7601. Police managed to arrest 3 suspects who have since been charged with malicious damage to property and unlawful wounding. They were identified as David Chanda, aged 20, Daniel Kalunga, and Gift Manya, both aged 22, of unmarked house numbers in Chibolya compound. They are detained in police custody while investigations have intensified.
Transparency International Zambia, TIZ, says Zambia's 59th independence anniversary is a reminder of the country's continued commitment to achieving true democracy and good governance premised on a relentless fight against corruption. TIZ Executive Director Maurice Nyambe says the organization firmly believes that unwavering resolve to fight corruption in real and meaningful ways is a prerequisite to a thriving democracy and attainment of a truly free and prosperous Zambia. Mr. Nyambe has noted that corruption does not only undermine the foundation of the nation, but also erodes public trust, weakens institutions, perpetuates inequality, and stifles economic growth. Mr. Nyambe has assured that TIZ remains committed to supporting efforts aimed at fighting corruption in the country.
We commemorate this year's Independence Day, and as we do that, we call on the government and the ruling party to remain alive to Zambia's long-held resolve to creating a society that fosters a level playing field for all citizens, regardless of their background, socio-economic status, religious, or indeed political affiliations. This resolve also includes a commitment to ensure that public resources are allocated and utilized for the benefit of all citizens, rather than being siphoned off by a select few through acts of corruption at different levels.
The Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council, NGOCC, says it is sad that despite the political independence, Zambia and many African countries remains bound in the chains of poverty. The women movement has noted with concern that many citizens, especially the most vulnerable, women and children, continue to bear the heavy brunt of poverty. According to the Zambia Statistics Agency's 2022 Living Conditions Monitoring Survey, the poverty levels in Zambia currently stand at 60%, which means that more than half the population are poor. NGOCC chairperson Grace Sinkamba says as the country celebrates its 59th independence anniversary, the organization is appealing to leaders to address the high poverty levels in the country. She said there is need to urgently address poverty if political independence is to be meaningful. Zambia is celebrating its 59th independence anniversary under the theme Accelerating National Development Through Equitable Distribution of Resources.
On this occasion, NGOCC notes with sadness that Zambia has over the years lost its value system and identifies with imitated alien cultures. This can be seen, for example, by the increased brothels in the name of casinos and massage parlors dotted around the country. At 59, Zambia is still fighting with issues such as high incidences of gender-based violence and low numbers of women in leadership and decision-making positions. It is totally unacceptable that 59 years after independence, the country only has 15.6% female member parliament, which connotes continued discrimination and exclusion of women.
Meanwhile, the Zambia National Women's Lobby has expressed concern that women in Zambia continue to face challenges in ascending to leadership positions due to the entrenched patriarchal norms. Lobby National Board Chairperson Daisy Ngambi has noted that these norms have sustained a social system in which men have remained the primary power holders and dominate, especially in roles of political leadership and control of finances. And Ms. Ngambi has called on the government to prioritize the mainstreaming of gender equality and create a gender commission as provided by the law to guarantee that all the laws on gender equality and equity are adhered to without fail. Constitutional Court Judge Maria Mapanyi Kawimbe has noted that although the management of elections is a role reposed on the electoral management body, the role of electoral courts still has significant prominence in the administrative management of the elections. During a high-level colloquium of the Constitutional Council held in Paris on 16 October 2023, Justice Kawimbe stated that administrative management of elections is important in promoting human rights and ensuring that the right to vote is not undermined through electoral mismanagement. The judge demonstrated the court's role in promoting public confidence in the integrity and professionalism of electoral management and acceptance of election results by referring to some electoral landmark judgments passed by the African judiciaries. She recognized the importance of the African voice in the discourse of strengthening democracy in the context of electoral justice and election dispute resolution mechanism. Earlier, Justice Kawimbe noted with excitement that most African countries preferred the use of courts in settling hotly contested electoral disputes, which are considered a peaceful means as opposed to undemocratic methods usually characterized by violent means such as coup d'etat. This is contained in a statement issued by Naomi Mwemba, the first secretary for press at the Zambian embassy in Paris, France. The Southern African Center for the Constructive Resolution of Disputes, SACOD, has recommended that the Patriotic Front and other opposition political parties prioritize seeking amicable solutions to address their internal wrangles. The remarks are in response to the escalating internal disputes within the former ruling party, which has led to the suspension of key figures, among them the national chairperson, Davis Chama, and Matera Member of Parliament, Miles Samba. Speaking in an interview with 5FM News, Organization Executive Director Boniface Chembe says political parties should utilize their internal process to iron out their perceived differences.
What is important is that acts of violence are not allowed within the party, that actions that are being taken, that these are being done peacefully and they are being done as per the laid out procedure of the party. So we have taken note of what has been happening, and what is important is that the party, especially the senior leadership, need to have an open door policy.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business, informed about business.
And now in business news, the Southern Africa Cross-Border Traders Association has noted with concern that there is a likelihood of some of the world's weaker currencies, like that of Zambia, not stabilizing soon because of the ongoing conflicts in areas where most of the supplies of oil and gas, including grain, come from. Association Secretary General Jacob Makambwe feels the global trends are beyond the capacity of what the weaker economies can manage. Speaking in an interview with 5FM News, Mr. Makambwe says for cross-border traders, stability of the currency is paramount because traders deal with exchange rates at the borders.
It has much impact on production itself, meaning that the cost of commodities is still going to go high, and also the cost of trading is also going to be high. So for cross-border traders, of course, the stability of an exchange rate of the currency is very paramount, important, because we always deal with the exchange rate at the border to try and get into the other currencies. So the differentials in terms of the exchange rates affects the planning of most of the cross-border traders.
And now in foreign news, South Africa's Parliamentary Committee on Ethics has opened an investigation into Deputy Health Minister Sibongiseni Ndlomo after receiving a sexual assault complaint against him. The investigation follows an expose by the South African newspaper, The Sunday Times, in which a male parliamentarian staffer alleged that Dr. Ndlomo sexually assaulted him. The staffer claims that Dr. Ndlomo made sexual advances against him after inviting him to his house in Cape Town. And finally, in sports news, Chipolopolo Legends will entertain Malawi Legends at the newly refurbished David Kaunda Stadium in Chipata on Saturday, 28th October 2023. The match, organized by the Football Association of Zambia in Eastern Province, will serve as a post-independence birthday gift to football lovers, as well as cement the companionship existing between Zambia and Malawi. The Zambian Legends team comprises mostly 2012 Africa Cup of Nations winning squad, led by Captain Christopher Katongo, Chisamba Lungu, Chintu Kampamba, Hichani Himonde, Kalililo Kakonje, and Felix Katongo. Other players to have donned the Chipolopolo shirt that will feature for Zambia include Fwayo Tembo, Billy Mwanza, Clive Hachilensa, Nchimunya Mwetwa, Justin Zulu, Jimmy Chisenga, Given Singuluma, and Clifford Mulenga. The match will kick off at 15 hours and will be preceded by a contest involving the Eastern Province Under-17 team and their Lusaka Province counterparts at 13 hours. And that sporting item leads us to the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Northern and Wapula provinces are partly cloudy, slightly windy and hot with a chance of isolated thunder showers. Maximum temperature is in the range between 27 degrees Celsius and 38 degrees Celsius. Western, Southern and Lusaka provinces are mainly sunny and hot, tending to be very hot, especially in the low-lying areas. Maximum temperature is in the range between 36 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. That ends the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
And that item brings us to the end of the news this afternoon. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. Armed criminals escape with $21,000 after attacking security guard along Mumbwa Road. TIZ marks Independence Day with focus on democracy and transparency. South African minister under investigation after sexual assault claim. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Judith Mobe. Good afternoon.
Get acquainted with the latest news on the multiple award-winning radio station, 5FM Radio at 0615, 1245, and 1830. Fair, balanced, and objective information is what you get on your number one adult contemporary infotainment provider. Be the first one to know what is trending in continental and global news on 89.9 FM. 5FM Radio, your dependable source